Blog Talk Radio.
Cherokee Billie is a spiritual advisor and certified animal communicator who has been guiding people on their sacred path for nearly 40 years. Her ability to hone in on her clients' needs has made her one of the most sought-after spiritual advisors in the country. With Cherokee Billie's guidance, you can take the first steps or refine your journey along your sacred path. Before we get going, we ask that you do your part. Have your one question ready, keep it concise, and stay on topic. One concise, on-topic question. And now, here's Cherokee Billie. Greetings, this is Cherokee Billie, and thank you for tuning into my program, The Sacred Path, always trying to direct people along the journey of life, and it's not always easy. And again, I'm doing this tonight on defining spiritual attacks. And I see there are some callers. I will take calls, but I'd like to talk first about this subject, and I want to give a little information. According to exorcism experts, they say that demonic possessions are surging around the world. You have to admit that things are more chaotic in our world than ever before, and a good part of it is because of these demonic forces. The number of demonic possessions around the world is surging and reaching what experts say emergency levels. This has been reported to the Pope as well as other religious leaders. What most people don't realize is that they're dealing with spiritual entities and dark energies. Let's just take some examples. Say, a person who gets angry a lot. That may be part of their nature, but it also is being spurred on by these spirits, these demonic spirits that run around looking for who they can latch on to. And they're gaining more and more power, just like the exorcism experts have said. And I know it as being in this work for so long, several decades, and what I've seen, especially this past year. More people than ever I see are wanting to commit suicide. And I feel that that has to do with, again, spirits that are influencing people, making them want to commit suicide when they may not really be feeling that by themselves. But these spirits, they hang around and they wait to see who they can latch on to and what, they can cause. They love chaos, confusion, and sometimes they can come across as real benevolent spirits and not be. So it's kind of like, how do you know which one is and which one isn't? What is your real thoughts? Well, I have to point out what I feel is critical for people in today's world, and that is spiritual protection on a daily basis. And how you do that? Well, you invoke the white light of God around through you, and then on top of that, the blue light of Archangel Michael to protect you from any forces that are coming at you. Now, if you go to my website, up at the top is a section called Articles. Open it up. The first one is called Using God's White Light, and in that article is the video on how to do this work daily. You must do it daily. When you wake up in the morning, you don't know what you're going to face during that day. It could be a nice, pleasant day, or you could be in the middle of a gunfight, a shoot-up, an accident. In our world, it's going faster and faster, things that are happening. It's evident through the news. And again, the effect it's having on people. And that's why the more you can keep yourself protected from these forces, it will keep you from being attached, controlled, whatever. You name it, it's going to work. I know because I've been teaching this for, again, almost 40 years about the white light. And I have seen that and the blue light of Michael do amazing things for people. I know for myself, I have had it protect me from things that would be hard for people to believe. And the spirits are very real. Like before doing this program, I spent time in prayer, meditation, and doing the protection. You bet, because I know what's out there, and I don't want to be attacked, putting it mildly. So I'm going to go to the callers because they may bring up some interesting points. So I'm going to take first caller. It's area code 203. Hello, are you there?
Hi, Billy. It's Pat and Chance.
Oh, hi. Wow. Thank you for calling in. And
yeah,
how is Chance? I have to ask real quick. I've
yeah.
written you and
It
called you,
is.
but never heard back.
Oh gosh, I don't think you called the right number or emailed because I haven't heard from
Yeah,
you.
I emailed repeatedly. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
gosh,
And I did.
but
Anyway, just tell me how Chance is because we're on the
okay,
radio here real quick.
okay. Anyway, I wonder. He's had a couple of hard times. He was always really listening. He's smiling and batting his eyelashes at you.
Oh,
His
yeah.
He's had a couple of hard times. He's been tired. The heat's tough, but I have to say his face looks younger,
From
refreshed.
doing the energy work on him, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's
Wonderful.
really,
I'm so glad to hear this, because I will, all I can say is please call me and then I'll know it's the right phone number because I have
oh,
reached out. Okay?
I'll contact you and send my information. I would love
Please.
to ask you, yeah, and thank you for
Okay.
helping Chan.
Now, the
I'd love,
question is on what we're talking here, the spiritual
right,
world, the
right.
spiritual attacks, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I live in a big apartment building, and there's actually two in this community. And I met this woman early on, and she befriended me, and come to realize she befriends anyone new. And I thought she was going to be a nice friend. I helped her out a bit, and one day, Chance is a service dog, and there's too many people here to let people pet him. Some are afraid, blah, blah, blah. And she knew that, and she came at him in the elevator, and I said, I said no. And then I explained. She got furious with me. She started sending, talking about me to everyone, with a few people that I'd made friends with kind of looked at me. Anyway, long story short, it's been years, and I finally approached her once. I said, if you go your way, I go mine. And I just didn't want to listen to her, defend herself. And they don't stop. She and her partner, they don't stop trying to,
Okay.
well, in front
All
of
right,
other
then let's,
people, they're
right,
so
but let's
friendly.
get to how you can stop it, okay?
Yes, and
I get the picture.
it also scares me, which I'm not proud to say, but like
Well,
today,
it can be.
yeah, okay.
These things are scary because people are out of control. You have reasons to be scared. Again, what did I just say? You've got to do the white
Yes,
light, blue light of protection. If you do that every day, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and say, then you encounter these people, do it silently, right in front of
right,
them. You protect
right.
yourself. I guarantee these people will go away from you. It works.
Okay, okay.
I've seen it
Let,
happen for too many
okay,
and myself included. Like when I was
yeah,
first introduced to this, I want to give a little history. It was a spiritual advisor I went to. This was 42 years ago. I had a neighbor in a compound I lived in. He was vandalizing my car, my property, all the time. Police wouldn't do anything. I went to her, and she told me to send out a message every day, say his name, and say, I see you moving on in God's white light. I said, that's it? She said, that's it. I thought it was pretty stupid, but I did it anyway. Half-assed, but I did it. Well, the guy ended up suddenly moving clear across the United States. When that happened, I knew it worked.
yeah,
And that's what you do to stop the neighbors. You just silently, in your mind or out loud when you're at home, say, I see you, Joe Blow, moving on in God's white light. Start it
okay.
now.
Okay. And you know what? This morning I forgot to add Chin, and then there they were. I had angered her recently because I will not
Yeah.
be her friend. And I thought, shoot, again, I didn't protect myself. And I realized I get scared when I don't protect myself. I just,
Well, that's why it's critical. You must do it the first 5 minutes you're awake. If you do it,
yeah,
you're protected. And you could have done it silently in front of them. You
exactly.
don't acknowledge anything. You just do it silently.
Yes.
Okay? And
Yes.
if you do that, you will see people, they want to get away. They don't like the light of God. The demonic
Yeah.
spirits hate that light of God. That's why so
Yeah.
many spiritual people, uh, in the world who are in that place of power are aware of what's happening because it is beyond what it ever was before.
Yeah.
So you can stay safe and protected, and I know it will work. So remember, you see Joe Blow moving on in God's white light, right?
Okay. 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 Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and please call. You can
I
call
will.
my phone right now and leave a voice message, okay?
Okay. All right.
Please
God
do.
bless you. I will.
And I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad to hear from you because I wondered about you. Well, you have a
Yeah.
blessed evening and a blessed
Okay.
weekend, and
Thank you.
happy 4th of July, okay?
You too. Thank you so much, Billy.
Thank
God
you.
bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was really nice to hear from someone that I have worked with, as you could tell. And I'm real glad because I've tried reaching this lady. These things, again, will go back, spiritual attacks. They're going to stop me from trying to get a hold of people. They're going to do anything they can. They're little pranksters, and they cause division. That could be like if you're having, like her, with neighbor problems. They're going to do it, or say with your family member, a loved one. If there's a lot of these problems, again, spiritual protection is the key. Now, I see another caller here, and I'm going to take this call. This is area code 504. Hi there.
Hi, thank
Are you?
you.
And who are you?
My name's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
When I saw the title, I was like, I have to call.
Okay.
I've had a lot of spiritual attacks through the last 10 years, and get through them, so to speak. Work has been a hot spot. And when you said neighbors, I'm sitting outside. The neighbor thing seems to have quieted down, though, try to test me. But could it go back to a source of, like, my mother, she doesn't really like me, and she's very gifted as a medium, but an
Mm-hmm.
untrained medium. So now that she's older, she's in my apartment, and it's not an easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it, but it's affecting me physically. My
Well,
sanctuary is
spiritual
kind of,
attacks. Right. You're being attacked, and it is going to affect your health and everything else. Now, the same thing I've been saying. First off, go to my website. At the top, articles, using God's white light, and practice with the video. Why I say practice, don't do it on your own. Practice for 2 weeks with it, then you can do it on your own. But start doing
okay.
it, because even though she's there, if you protect yourself, things will start changing now. Sometimes the spirits can get more violent. It does happen. I don't know. But if it does, again, why don't you do the one where I said, I see you moving on in God's white light to your mother, wherever it may take her. Who knows? Maybe she'll go into a nursing home or something. You don't know, but you've got to try this to stop it. Because anybody, if, like you say, she's a medium, people who do have spiritual gifts are often subject to spiritual attacks. They don't even know it. Okay?
That's why I think I've been attacked too. I have gifts. Sometimes I just try
Oh,
to
yes.
turn them off because the attacks, like, it's like I can barely go anywhere to work without a group of people, like, ganging up on me. And it's exhausting. So I haven't been working since January because it's a lot, you know? It
Yes,
wears you
it is.
down.
But it does. But you've got to just do this exercise first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and a million times in between. But the two most critical are first thing in the morning and last at night, because that's going to stop so much that is occurring for you. It could stop it immediate. It may take time. I don't know. All you can say is
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
And if you're still having problems, contact me privately for my service, because I do cleansing of negative energies. I do remove them for people. In fact, I did one yesterday for a lady. I did her entire house. Whew, it was a lot
Okay.
in there. And
Can
it
you do
wasn't that she
a
brought them in.
relative?
I beg your
Oh,
pardon?
okay. Can you
What?
do a relative? Like a relative, don't they need your permission or their
You,
permission?
you don't need their their permission to protect yourself. Not at all. Okay?
Okay.
You don't.
It's
But
really
I'm
hard, though.
saying,
You want to help them. I know that sounds
well,
like I'm the most codependent person out there, but I think there's like a little mental illness, not really bad, but a little bit.
could be. And there's a lot more I could talk to you about, but, I can't do it here on the radio. There's other callers and
Okay.
limited time. But, why don't
Okay.
you contact me for a private session? I can certainly
Okay.
help you with quite a bit. I really can.
Okay.
Much more than
Thank
here. But
you.
again, I've given you, the key to go to my website, look up that article, and start, because there's a lot more that you could do. And sometimes the person that you're protecting yourself from can get more violent. It happens. But again, if you hit it hard, where you're hitting them with the same light, like you would shooting, so to say, a laser gun or something of white light and blue light to them, they're going to back off because they really don't like it.
Yeah.
It usually,
Okay.
I've never seen it not work. And I've done this where one of my clients, she had a man who was trying to kill her, and he was doing it all the time, trying to find ways. And one time she was on the freeway, and he was trying to run her off, and she started
Jeez.
hard on that Michael, calling him Michael, and that guy suddenly backed off and left her. And she was
Okay.
hysterical, but she knew what to do in that moment when she was being attacked. The same happened to me. I was being attacked, and I did the same thing, and that person couldn't wait to get away from me, and I didn't lift a
Okay.
finger. That's how powerful
Okay.
the Spirit of God and the Spirit of Michael is, and they are real. Like I often have people say to me, well, I don't believe in any of this. That's fine, but if you contact me, I'm always going to come from a spiritual place. I call myself spiritual
Appreciate it.
advisor because that's what I am. I'm not there to sit and answer yes and no questions. Bores me to
Okay.
tears. My job here on this planet is to educate and help people get past what's going on.
Okay.
And in these times,
Thank
more
you.
so. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
have I have 12, 13 books. And my newest book is Are We in the End Times? You may want to check that out on my website. There's a section at the top on ebooks. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
I give a
Appreciate
lot of
that.
information. But thank you so much for calling, and I know you'll do better. Okay?
Thank you.
You have a
I'll
blessed
keep listening.
evening.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all keep you on. Thank you. Always something, with, again, family members. Very common to have attacks from another family member. Look at how many domestic violence. That's what the police face the most in their day-to-day work is domestic violence. And again, spirits. And if people are drinking or using drugs, it's going to increase it. If you remember in olden times, they called alcohol spirits. The reason being, spirits live. They love that high, be it alcohol or whatever drug. They love to get high. And they're going to encourage the people to keep doing it because they're getting a high from it as well. Recently, I have someone who their son has been using marijuana, and he's a young man in his teens, and he finally stopped. And I said, well, it's going to take 6 months for those spirits to detach, from him. And it does take time. If you've stopped drugs or alcohol, those spirits still keep wanting to tempt you. That's why people fall off the wagon or whatever. It has to do with they're being probed and they don't even know it. You think it's coming from your mind, and it isn't. I'm here to tell you, not everything is all you. It's coming from other sources. And I've written a great deal about this. I have, again, I mentioned my books. You can check those out. And if you type in on my website, on the little magnifier, type in something like spiritual attacks, you'll get articles I've written on it. So you can get a lot of help through my website. Now, I've got another caller here. I guess you've got your number blocked. It's 111. And who's this?
Hi, it's
Hello?
Rosemary. How are you?
Rosemarie?
Yeah.
Yes, hi. Well, what are you calling in about?
I guess your topic, I did have like a couple, like not a couple years ago, like a while ago, like a spirit come to me. I know the spirit, who it was, and I don't know what it meant, but I guess she was looking after me, I guess.
It can be if it's a divine spirit from God, yes. But you don't know. You know, you've got to be careful when you entertain spirits. You need to do, again, protection. Then it would only be the divine, godly spirits that come to you and nothing else. Okay?
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's kind of summing it up. And we're almost down to the end of the program, so I'm sorry, but I do have to move on, but I hope that helped you.
Yes, it is.
Good. Well, you have a blessed evening, and thank you for calling.
You too. Have a good holiday.
Bye-bye. Okay, yes. And speaking of which, you know, we have a holiday here. And, you know, a lot of people, again, more violence on the holidays than any other time. Again, this is according to the police that I base this on, you know, that they encounter so much all the time. And again, domestic violence, big, big, big. Now, if anybody else wants to call, I got a couple of minutes here. But again, I want to talk about different things I've experienced. I mentioned the cleansing of the house I did yesterday. Well, there was a lady who, she was dating a guy that she knew was definitely, and he knew he was demonically possessed. So she asked me to help this guy. And whoa, I'll try to break it down quickly. I had told the guy what I needed him to do in preparation so he would be ready for me to, you know, come in and try to remove these spirits. Well, when I called him, he hadn't done anything I said. And as I started to do my job of, you know, getting rid of this, I heard the loudest roar of a dog through the phone line. And I asked him, do you have a dog there? And he said, no. And I knew what it was. That spirit was very upset, and they were trying to stop me from doing what I was going to do with this guy. And it was a very hard one, and the spirit did not leave him, and he didn't want it to, so there was a big thing. But, you know, you don't know what you're going to encounter in this. Another example is I was channeling a famous person who passed away. This was a long time ago, and I would write about it. And I started getting weird hate mail and things. Well, one night a demon appeared before me, and he told me to stop channeling this man, that if I didn't, I would regret it. Well, I'm a pretty arrogant little person, and I told him, you know, I'm not going to stop. Forget it. Anyway, I should have listened to him. But about 3 months later, I started really being attacked. My reputation, I was getting death threats beyond anything you can imagine. And finally, someone emailed me and said, you need to see this. There was a psychic out there who believed she was the only one who could connect with this deceased celebrity. And she had started a hate campaign against me and told people I was doing all types of things that I wasn't. And they believed her, and she attacked me for a long time. So there you go. And a spirit and one of the demons warned me. Now, why would a demon tell me? They betray each other. That's how weird it is. They don't care. Demonic spirits are not loyal to anything. So remember that in your life, that these things, there's no loyalty. There's no respecter of persons. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. And, you know, if you feel someone you love or know is being attacked, the thing to do is not just pray for them. Send God's white light, Archangel Michael, to them. Do it every day. You don't know what it may do. Many miracles that occur come from people who are praying for another person. And that is something we need to keep in mind. Praying for one another, caring for one another. You know, it's a crazy world and everybody's on edge and there is not a lot of tranquility in people. But we need that. You need to get yourself spiritually protected. I believe in meditation, prayer, everything. But spiritual protection is the number one thing needed by everyone in our world. And I wish everyone believed in this, but not everyone does. So that's why I'm bringing it up. I've done programs on this before, but I hope that this is helping you to understand whatever you're experiencing, you're not alone. It's happening all over. And, you know, it's what often pushes you or pushes someone you know. I try to do prayers for anyone I know coming into my home before they're here because I don't know what they may be bringing in. You don't know. That's why I even pray, even if it's loved ones that, you know, are wonderful people, pray anyway because you don't know what may want to jump on somebody and maybe taking a free ride without them knowing it. It is that crazy in this world. Now, I'm grateful for those of you who called in this evening. It definitely helps. I will not be doing my program on Tuesday because of the holiday. I didn't figure there was be too many people interested. Pardon me. So I'm not doing that one. But I will be back Thursday, and I'm going to talk about my life as an animal communicator, and I think you will enjoy that. If you have pets, you definitely want to listen to this because animal communication is the thing I love the most. It is. And I also like working against negative forces. I do enjoy that very much. So, you know, for those of you, I'm just letting you know what is ahead on these programs, and I hope you keep following. I'm doing them 3 times a week, as the reason is so you know who I am, what my work is, and I like having on different guests, which I plan on doing. I know next week, next Sunday night, I will have on my friend Ray Susana, who was on before, who talks about communicating and dealing with spirits, and he's dealt with negative spirits as well as the positive. He brings in nothing but really beautiful, powerful angels and things, and he's a great guy, but he's encountered a lot in his life of these demonic forces. I think anybody who truly lives is going to encounter them. There's a lot of people who go through life and they don't really live. They don't step out on a limb and take chances or take some, you know, different moves in their lives. So they existed rather than lived. And I hope that you out there are living, that you live life to your fullest, whatever it may be, and that you keep yourself and your family protected from any and all demonic forces. Remember, the devil, it says in the Bible, is like a roaring lion walking about seeking whom he may devour. So you don't want to be his next meal. That's the bottom line. You don't. Because our true job here is to fight against these negative forces, to prove God's Spirit lives on, and it does, through so many different ways. Now, I'm trying to get my mind here. We're down to just about a minute left in the program. But do remember that you are fighting a spiritual warfare, whether you know it or not. They're coming after you. So you want to do your protection, take care of yourself, your family, your pets, protect them as well. Because you never know, you know, they can get possessed as well. I'm sure you've heard stories about it. So you want to make sure you protect even your pets. Anything that you love and anyone you love, do it. You'll see a big difference in your life. I guarantee if you do the spiritual protection, the white light of God, the blue light of Michael, according to the way I've written it out, if you do it for 30 days, I guarantee you'll see your life changing for the better. I can't tell you exactly how, but it will change. So remember, go to my website, look at the top under articles using God's white light, and check out the video as well as the article. And I thank those of you who are calling in, and please support my work through buying a product, a service, whatever. It keeps me going and helps me to help others. So you all have a blessed, wonderful holiday. Protect yourself, take care of yourself, and be blessed. Whew. Hmm. Okay. Hmm? What? No, I want to close out. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I not closed? Makes no sense. Huh? Shut off your computer. Because I don't understand this.